from my perspective, is a spiritual practice. It's my spiritual practice. And at the heart of this helping and guiding women into their erotic power, their erotic energy, that it really is about this authority that women give themselves to be present fully, including their sexual energy, including the chaos of being alive and existing. It's an insanity, really, this human experience.
Yes.
And simultaneously, there is this grace, this ignition that can happen when we are in reverence of our entire experience in a moment.
Rie is in the house.
Hey.
I'm so happy you're here. And, I was thinking about this before you came in today, and I was thinking about time and just connection. And it has been almost 20 years since we've known each other.
Has it really?
Mm-hmm. And just for the listeners, by the way, Rie and I met in one of the most hilarious ways. Don't be jealous, because my dentist, when he was doing, our dentist actually turned out, when he was doing a lot of dental work on me, gifted me Rie. And what neither one of us knew at the time was it was going to be this beautiful friendship and collaboration and connection.
Yes, we don't. He's not our dentist anymore,
He
but
is not.
We have each other.
Yes,
still.
we do. So I'm super grateful for that. And the thing, you are this creatrix of many things that I admire, but particularly the way that you hold the feminine, the goddess energy, divine feminine energy, and particularly the erotic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to know when the moment was that you really woke up to that for yourself.
I think about this often, because being a teacher, instructor, everyone's interested in the origin story, and I can't say I can pinpoint it to one moment, but I can say that as a little girl, there was always this world that was my own. And in that world, everything was okay. There was play, there was pleasure, there was music, there was nature, and dancing, and that never left me, even as I grew up and became, a crazy teenager, and started to kind of split from my own pleasure-centered life. I was numbing myself through, smoking and drinking and partying. And
I know nothing about that.
No, you don't. And I don't say that with any judgment. I don't judge myself. But I was in less of a connection with the world and nature. And so when I started getting into conscious movement and healing work, yoga and body work and things like that, it was like each time I had an experience that was profound or deep, it was like breadcrumbs back to this, everything makes sense space. And I couldn't name it, but in retrospect, I suppose Anna Forrest, my yoga mentor, was a kind of woman that I just was blown away by. She was so ferocious and so present and so loving.
For what ferocious how?
Her ability to stay with you and the awareness of healing and love and change that she really saw for you or for me. Like, she really held the space for me to say, it's okay that you want to yell at me, leave the room, bail this pose, whatever. And something about the awareness that she had, like, this will change your life. This pose or staying here, her love for me is really what it felt like. Like, I love you, Rie. Stay here. Cry. Fall apart. I got you. That kind of fierceness.
Yes. Like really holding space.
Yeah.
Holding space for your experience that you were having, like mind, body, soul.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming through this woman, I mean, she looks fierce. People are often terrified of her. And how I landed and how I got so lucky, I have no idea. But if I had to create a reason, it feels to me like grace. Like, she was put in my path so that I can find myself, find my own ferociousness and my own ability to hold space for myself and others for healing.
Yes.
And once I experienced that level of profound embodied wisdom, and it's Forest yoga, her method, Forest yoga, was quite a rebellious form of yoga because, we didn't om, we didn't do mantra, her spiritual path was more native Indian, and she basically took what she felt was authentic for her and merged it with the healing powers of yoga. And her authenticity, instead of just like, yes, I went to, India and studied with Iyengar and many other people, but this is what's real for me. Like, that kind of authenticity and presence was what worked for me.
And it's clearly because I feel like that's what you've also done, right? You've gone and you've studied with masters and you've, done the work and then taken it back into creating your own expression.
Right.
And you said, embodied wisdom. Thank you. So embodied wisdom, like what does that mean to you?
Oh, I could talk about that forever. So we live in a world, a culture that values intellect more than really anything.
Agreed.
So even the way that people connect to spirituality or self-care, embodiment, sex, it's through intellectualizing it. I'm thinking about, am I doing this right? What does it look like?
We like to stroke our brains.
Right.
Yes, mental masturbation is what I generally call it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And embodied wisdom is the absence of intellect-driven body experience. Being a body worker for almost 20 years this year, somatic, holistic work that I've been doing, I can say through my experience, my lived and professional experience, that when people shift from intellectualizing their experience on, say, the massage table or the yoga mat, these profound things come through. Like, for really simple, most people have tension in their shoulders or their neck. And they may come in and say, I have, tight shoulders. Just, can you help me with that? And then we kind of talk about a bunch of other things. And they'll often say, I can't sleep. I'm frustrated in my relationship, or creatively, or there's just like a stuckness, right? And if you think that your body being tight has nothing to do with these where you're stuck in life, then that's it. The conversation's over.
Right. Then there's no connection.
There's no connection. And I just love getting in the body. I'm not really doing that much body work like I used to. But say I'm helping someone through some neck tension or releasing their traps, their trapezius muscle. And I just talk them through softening. Just soften. Anywhere in your body. Not necessarily where my hands are. Just soften your kneecaps. Soften your whatever. Use your imagination and whatever you can soften. Then what usually happens next is the breath shifts, right? Because the psyche is merged with the fascia of the body. So if you're thinking everything sucks, I'm stuck in my life, your body is receiving that information.
Yes. Okay.
And holding that. And so when I drop in that inquiry of, is it possible that where you're stuck is connected to your lack of connection with your body? Because the body is not it's not flowing right now. So what if it started flowing? How would that feel? And almost always there's a recognition that, like, oh,
yes,
oh my gosh, okay, I just took a breath. Now my body wants to do this, it wants to do that. It's prompted an embodied response that the brain, the intellect, is not operating. So it's that simple. And from that, the creative energy starts to move.
Exactly.
And the stuckness may change.
I notice it often when I sit at my desk, which I will do for too many hours at a time. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, I'll have this thought. You haven't breathed really deeply, in a little bit, Deborah, right? And remember, there's the body connected below the neck here. And so for this embodied wisdom, you've done it in so many different forms, right?
Yes.
The body work, obviously yoga, which you trained and teach, classes. And then there was the shift into the erotic.
Yes.
And where you brought in dance and pole dancing. And first, I'd like to hear your definition of erotic.
The erotic to me is embodied love.
Embodied love.
Yeah.
Say more about that.
Because there's a big love. There's spiritual love. And the erotic is this really generous and generative energy that moves us into relationship with another human, this beautiful cup of mate latte that you made me, just that creaminess, and the felt care in that cup of tea you made me, right? So because it's an embodied love, it includes all the senses. It includes the power that's generated from being alive, being turned on.
Well, it's interesting you said turned on, because I'm sitting here and thinking, is the erotic the same as sexual?
No.
So say more about that.
It's not the same, because we can have a sexual experience without love.
Yes.
So that's the difference.
So when love is present, the erotic, the eros,
That's right.
love, is in the room, basically. It's in our bodies, then it's in our consciousness.
Yes.
And how have you seen there's been so much over the years of you teaching, and also being, and performing. How have you seen when, because you work with women,
Yeah.
when women drop into this experience of their own felt sense of erotic energy, erotic nature, erotic movement, what occurs for women?
Oh, it's so vast. It's so vast because it's, I try not to think of it as a goal-oriented work, because there's a rigidity in that. And to me, this energy, from my perspective, is a spiritual practice. It's my spiritual practice. And at the heart of this helping and guiding women into their erotic power, their erotic energy, that it really is about this authority that women give themselves to be present fully, including their sexual energy, including their the chaos of being alive and existing. It's an insanity, really, this human experience.
Yes.
And simultaneously, there is this thing, this grace, this ignition that can happen when we are in reverence of our entire experience in a moment.
And so our entire experience being that of all the senses, is that what you're referring to? And whatever emotions might be there as well, and how that moves through one's body.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. And so why do you find, and again, I'm sure this comes across from many different avenues, but I'm wondering if there's a through line of the women who do come to work with you. What do you find is either the desire for it? Has there been, some kind of a pain? I mean, I of course find in the work that I've been doing is that there's a disconnect, right? That there's a pain there. Do you find that of why women are coming to explore this with you?
Absolutely. Yes. I hear, it terrifies me. And I've made a commitment to myself this year to contact my fear and the resistances. There's something about the idea of connecting, owning, exploring a part of you that's connected to the erotic or sensuality or feminine embodiment, that is a blind spot. And they know, when they know that, and they're like, I don't know what that means, but it sounds, I get everything from interesting, fun, terrifying, depending on where someone is in that moment in their life. They come in from, from different angles. But really, regardless of why they come, I think there's something bigger happening. And you've been such a leader in that, Deborah, for so long. And that is to create a space to talk about it first. To say, I need somewhere to go to talk to someone who lives their life dedicated to female empowerment.
Absolutely. I mean, the conversation, and that's why I wanted to birth this podcast, of course, was to bring some normalization to the conversation.
Right.
Because, you and I know, we love to talk about everything from all of it, from fashion to sex to the erotic to, goddess and
stain removers
and, pussy, regular and animals.
Yeah. From the mundane to the supernatural.
Absolutely. And speaking of supernatural, a lot of your studies have also been in the area dedicated to the divine feminine, right? To the goddess.
Yeah.
And, while some people are into that and they might, like it, relate to it, and some people might not, how has that informed and opened up your practical life?
My practical life,
just in your day to day, because I'm assuming, and I shouldn't necessarily assume, but that of course it has informed your spiritual. It is part of your spiritual path.
Yes.
But so how does that part of your life then give life, or what does it offer your more practical existence?
The easiest answer is everything. It's really opened up everything in my practical life. And being a Virgo, that's really sexy. I think one thing that really pops up in my mind is how to show up. Just how to show up in my life for myself.
So what does that look like?
Taking the time every day to connect to my, how do I say this without sounding kooky?
Oh, sound kooky. Come on, girl. It's the real undressed here.
Right. Oop. I'm just knocking into furniture now. I'm so excited to talk about this. It looks like how to direct my attention and my awareness. So I wake up and I wake up to this day, regardless of what's on the schedule, to my body, to the pleasure of being alive, to being in the space.
Yes.
And immediately there's a sense of knowing inside of me that, I'm feeling a lot of pain today, emotional heartbreak or ease, whatever it is, that it's all the same thing. It's all how I am showing up.
So pleasure, pain, so whatever emotion is there,
Yeah.
it's just is what I'm hearing you say.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I still have this body.
yes.
I still have a home.
Mm.
Nothing, even with tremendous heartbreak, there is also so much love, so much abundance. And it's helped me, my spiritual, goddess-oriented ground that I choose to walk on is that no matter what's going on, I'm loved. I'm the beloved.
Mm.
You know, the Shiva Shakti dance is why I'm here.
Yeah.
And regardless of how badly my heart is breaking or how joyous I am in the moment, I have this ability and this confidence now for my mind and my body and my spirit to align towards the grace of life. Like, I'm alive. I get to have these experiences for however long. I have no idea. And I think there's a reverence I have for impermanence.
I'm like, I keep hearing Ram Dass in the back of my mind right now speaking, and that there's a grace.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing in your words is just a grace that has kind of washed over your day to day.
Yeah.
By virtue of this dedication to your practice and your connection to the divine feminine.
Yes. Yeah. And it doesn't sugarcoat or make easier the pain.
Right.
That is important to me.
Say more about that.
Well, we're all familiar with spiritual bypassing.
Well, I mean, I know I am certainly familiar with it. But let's just say, so spiritual bypassing is like using a spiritual practice to really not deal with what there is to be dealt with.
That's right. Perfectly said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm not interested in that, to be frank.
Yeah, you're like, we are going to get to the real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I want to be in the dirt with it, even though I don't want to be in the dirt with it. It's kind of non-negotiable when you have a spiritual practice and you're working with really deep things with others.
Like?
Well, if I have a student I'm going to see in that day who's coming to me because, their marriage is over.
Ah, yes. Which is so challenging, painful time.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Devastating.
Mm-hmm.
A loss of a child.
Yes.
Things like that. When we even allow spiritual bypassing to be an option in your own life, how do you meet each other in a really open way? It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and I understand why we want to say, well, let's do this practice to make it better.
Right.
Like, I understand that. And in a way, that's why people come to me, because they want to feel better.
Sure.
And I provide that. And I'm holding this awareness of their pain too, because it's important.
Yeah. I think about this place that I refer to as the shit pit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an absolutely necessary and crucial part of the journey.
Yeah.
That we'll go through over and over again in different layers and different levels. If we do bypass that, we miss the real gem and the real gold of it.
Yeah.
And I love what you said in terms of like being with it all. Whether you wake up with the pain, you wake up with the joy, it simply is.
Yeah.
It simply is.
Yeah. Like I can't do a lot of things I used to do to make myself feel better. Like I don't smoke pot anymore. I don't really, I can't even finish like a light novel, like whatever.
I don't know the last time I read a novel. I have to say most of the stuff I read is nonfiction, but
yeah, exactly.
but just something, I mean, it sounds actually lovely to read a novel for pleasure.
I know. Like I have to read something for a project and I just haven't been able to, sink into it because it's very light. So, but I also make plenty of time for play.
Yes.
I've got a husband who's very playful and 2 cats and I can just, lay on the ground of my beautiful studio and watch the light change, on the wall. And so I'm not always inundated with, heaviness.
The depths of the intensity.
No.
That would be too much.
Yeah, that'd be too much.
Yeah. But it's interesting because the depths, the heaviness, I'm really present right now to, it's like feeling it all. And the deeper we go on either side allows for so much more of a full, rich experience in life overall.
Yes.
And like you embody that and you offer that and share that and teach that.
I don't know how else to teach erotic movement without that. Because erotic movement, it includes everything. It's erotic because it's all inclusive. Mm-hmm. It's fully felt experience.
Yeah. And so interesting, erotic movement. So now I'm thinking of course, where you and I have collaborated. And as of the release of this episode, it's during the month of April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And you and I have collaborated on the V-Day projects where I produced the vagina monologues. And that very first time, that was back in 2009.
Oh my goodness.
By the way.
Where's the time gone?
I know. So that was the very first.
We were babies.
What
were we doing?
We were, doing what we're doing now, and looking to change the paradigm.
Yeah.
But so I'll never forget that because I knew as soon as I said I'm producing this event, and we're gonna have some groovy after party because I like a good party.
Yes, you do.
You were my first phone call.
Amazing.
Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Of course. Because I was like, this is not happening without Rie. And so for those of you who are not familiar with V-Day, which by the way is linked up on the website because it is one of the organizations that, it's a global organization to end violence against women and girls. And truly changing the face of ending violence and sexual assault and raising awareness on these topics that unfortunately still need to be talked about and dealt with. But so when we were doing the event, I knew even back then that the party had to have the erotic.
I remember you saying that.
And it's, to many people, very counterintuitive. Yeah. Right. Here we are doing this event about sexual assault, about rape, and you're bringing in women dancing on poles.
Right.
Right. What the hell? So what, share a bit about what your yes was to that and why it was important for you.
Mm-hmm. Personally.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I was going through a huge empowerment for myself creatively at the time. And obviously, whatever you want to collaborate with is a yes, obviously. 'Cause I love you.
I love you.
And so that was, I think, had to do with why I said yes more than what it was. Mm-hmm. But I've always been an activist my whole life since, I could protest. I protested Marineland, zoos since I was a kid. So any kind of bringing awareness to something is going to be a real turn on for me. Activism is a turn on for me. And I was also, at the time, creatively repressed. There was a part of me waking up, my inner dancer, my inner performer. And it was trapped under an institution, let's just say.
Okay.
And I've always been a rebel. So if someone's like, no, you can't do that, it's going to happen. I'm going to do it.
Another reason I love you and we're kindred spirits.
Yes.
Go ahead. Tell us no.
Yes.
I dare you.
Exactly. Especially when it has to do with my creative expression. Mm-hmm. And it was just perfectly timed. You asked me to put together some version of a performance or an after party. I don't remember if you asked me to dance specifically or to just somehow be involved in the after party. But I just knew immediately, I'm putting together a pole dancing group and we're going to fly this female empowered, unapologetic fire from every part of our body into this party. And I've seen the vagina monologues. At that point, I was familiar and I'd read the play, and I find Eve and her work and the monologue to be so empowering. And it goes back to being able to hold everything. Yeah. That play has opened the door and the dialogue for some really hard stuff.
Yes, it has.
For so long. It came out of being held tightly and hidden and out into the world. And that's what I felt like I needed to do with my dancing. It couldn't stay hidden. I needed to, just like these women needed to talk about their experience for healing, I needed to share what I could do and what women in pleasure and erotically connected can do. It heals. At first, it offends sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And it scares people. And sometimes it enrages. And I understand that there's this split, this divide in what is appropriate feminism and, not appropriate feminism, and women dancing in very little clothes on a pole is a target because it's still being looked at through a kind of feminism that's actually a patriarchal feminism.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say more in terms of the offending and around, again, erotic movement and erotic expression, because, and it is and can be so triggering. I mean, a woman just alone in her own body who is sexually empowered, who is unafraid to feel her hips and walk in the world, with them and dress however she wants. I'd like to hear your perspective, since you have done such deep dive studies and you live and breathe this every day, of the offense and the rejection that comes up both from men and women.
Yeah. I would say it's so specific to your own relationship with your own body.
There it is.
Yeah. If your body, if you believe that your body has betrayed you and your body was a reason you were harmed or betrayed or abused, there's a holding, there's a messaging, kind of like what we were talking about earlier with the fascia, the body is holding the story of my sexuality is not safe. My sexuality is, I'll get in trouble if I show anybody this part of myself. I'll be punished. That's one example.
Sure.
So if we're holding that unconsciously, a woman in her fullness, in her pleasure, wearing whatever she wants, really indulging in herself, is going to be a direct, like a spotlight on what's gripped them in their suffering and their pain. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, and what I'm hearing is it's like when we're in the presence of anything, right, that is, I think, the opposite of what we're holding in our own lived experience, that opposite is going to shine a light on where we're not connected, or where how it's either challenging for us, uncomfortable for us, and then there's the moment of choice. What are we going to do about that? Right. What are we going to do about that? And I'm feeling, again, just especially in the context of, the conversation for people out there who have gone through any type of sexual assault, that, again, to simply have a conversation with someone, with anyone, if it hasn't been shared.
Yeah.
Because even a conversation, right, is moving it through our bodies.
Yes.
And it's using our voice.
That's right.
Right? To be able to get the energy out.
Yeah.
And I know, I kept my silence after I was raped at 15. I kept my silence for about 6 years. And that, once I finally talked about it and let it out of me publicly, and, I couldn't shut up about it, basically. And but more importantly, there was the freedom.
Yeah.
There's that freedom that happens again and opens up the body, and the gorgeousness then of the healing that can happen, and then the true connection to erotic, energy and erotic nature, and way more enjoyable sex, and to reclaim one's body. And I think talk about the reclamation that occurs for women when they do erotic movement and dance.
This kind of connects to your previous question. Another reason the judgment happens is because we're taught to judge as well. So perhaps you never had a negative experience in your life around your sexuality, but you were taught through religion or just your upbringing that this is what good women do this and look like this, and bad women look like this and do this. Right? So
good girl, bad girl dynamic.
And that's just like really one of a million things that we get conditioned to believe or to think. So those judgments come without even knowing it's coming or where it's coming from. And so to all my sisters out there who are erotic dancers, pole dancers, burlesque dancers, women who are, doing the work of this is what it looks like to let the shame go from my body and be in the world. You know, my hope is that there's also this responsibility that this openness, this self-love that we have has the capacity to heal those divides. That like, oh, what a kind person, what a generous person, and look at her go on that pole, or you know, look at her strutting her thing. It doesn't mean she's all the things that, you know, women have been categorized to being when they are connected to their sexuality or their sensuality or their eros. And so that reclaiming that you just mentioned is first, it has to come from identifying the divide in yourself. Where am I judging others? And and being curious, you know, whether it's accepting the way that, you know, your husband or your boyfriend or your mother puts down another woman, right? And that how normal that becomes. And so first it's about staying awake and aware.
Raising the consciousness.
Yeah.
That awareness. It's really interesting because we are so normalized to not like loving, connecting to other, well, people, but certainly the women against women, you know, that has been proliferated for so many years and because of, well, many things. That normalization of it is we're numb to it.
Yeah, we are.
So there is no awareness until there's people like you.
I know. It's hard work
you know?
to stay, you know.
Yeah.
And also, for me personally, I can't stay super rigid. It creates so much tension inside of me that I'm constantly letting things go. So I'm not trying to say, always call people out and always do this and always do that, because ultimately I'm interested in the space, the spaciousness of reality. Like, oh, okay, so I'm in a room full of dudes watching football right now, and these are the comments. That's the reality. I can hang out and get really upset and uptight and stay, or I can leave, or I can choose a moment just to interject, like, hey, feminist in the house. And then letting that go too.
Right.
So I tend to want to choose the softest way to make change, to stay soft in it.
Well, it's such a beautiful feminine approach. You know, the softness and the softening.
Yeah.
It's that feminine energy, you know, that you cultivate for you and for everybody around you. It just made me think of when we see, you know, people dance. I took a group of my mentorship gals to a burlesque show when we were having a retreat. And many of them had never experienced that before, right? And some of them had been to the last V-Day event and saw, you know, you and your ladies, but a lot of gals had never seen burlesque, and all the different sizes and shapes of bodies and whatnot. And again, the witnessing of that, just even to see it, that was such a reclamation for themselves, right? To go, oh, I could actually move my body that way, or I can feel erotic and sensual in that way. And so I truly, I invite all of you, I mean, men and women listening, right? Because there's everybody listening, to to experience that.
Yeah.
And not from a, again, not from really a lustful place. I mean, you might get turned on,
Mm-hmm.
but to go at it, to have this experience of reverence for what the human body can do, number one, and what a female body can offer by movement and by the light that is emanating, especially, from the places of
powerful.
dance, right?
So powerful.
Really.
We need to see women in that, in that empowered pleasure, empowered joy, sass. Yeah. It's so healing and it's so fun. And yeah.
Well, when you say we need it, why do you feel like we need it?
Because I see the effects of it all the time in class and over the years, how women, we just have this natural, it's very natural to hold beauty and be inspired. We witness it and then we pull it into our bodies. We go, just that breath that comes in when you see an amazing sunset, or like, when Lola was belly up in the sun outside, like I don't know what we were talking about, but everything stopped. I just had to take her in.
That hussy girl.
Yeah.
Slutting herself to the sun.
Oh, yeah. And when nature is such a teacher in that way.
Yes.
It just does what it does. And we get to be stopped in our tracks and not just enjoy it, but to really take it into our bodies. Like, oh, my breath changes. Sometimes tears will come, if just a moment, a full moon. And I really feel like women in pleasure and women dancing and women connected to her own power and her ease of it can do the same thing that a full moon can do.
Oh, I love that.
Just stops you in your tracks.
Thank you. I really just got something in a whole new way in this moment, because I moon bathe.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a sun gal. I
Yeah,
appreciate the
me too.
sun, right? But I moon bathe. And like the smell of that rose and how that can truly move you. And yet what you just shared is that we can get that same experience, that connected, really divine, spiritual experience and bodily based experience from appreciating another woman's movement. It doesn't even have to be a performance, like an official performance, but just even watching a woman walk through a room.
Yes.
I just got that on a much deeper level, because I had it, I think, more in my brain and just right now. So thank you for that. That landed deeply in my body. Appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Yeah, literally.
There's certain things you just can't change, like the beauty of the moon. And a woman walking through a room feeling good, you can't change that.
Yeah, it's something.
It's something. It is. Or a woman dancing, to her favorite song. And of course, this is true. This is not gender specific, but since, we're talking about women, I'm just like looking at Prince right now on your table.
I have one of those 7-day saint candles that someone gifted me with Prince as the saint on the candle.
And like that. To me, seeing Prince perform was like that. It was like, witnessing the most glorious Moonrise.
And talk about erotic movement.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so grateful that I got to see him a couple times in my life, you know, perform. And I have to say, the first time I saw him, I was a teenager, and it was after I had been raped, probably a year and a half after that. And so there was still, you know, confusion and can I really be sexual, so on and so forth. And to watch him move the way that he moved and the androgynous also quality and the erotic quality, all of that was a healing for me.
Wow.
He made it okay. And it's funny because, you know, maybe some people out there can be like, oh, a man made it okay. Hey, look, don't at me on this one, anybody out there. But yeah, it really was Prince that opened the doorway for me to begin to feel okay about going back and exploring sexuality, eroticism, you know, bodily pleasure. I got that from his Love Sexy tour. I mean, that purple shaped heart bed that rose up from the stage, and he just writhed and did a, you know, simulated solo sex scene. I was never the same in the best way.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I thank you. I almost not, you know, forgotten about that. I hadn't talked about that in a long time. And I think, you know, again, what you're saying and what you bring to the world, it's like, this is what's possible for everybody. And so for those of you who are thrivers, you know, survivors of these experiences in terms of sexual assault, I mean, I hope that you are taking in the words of Rie and this specific episode to offer deeper healing, right? And to offer a place of an idea, a doorway, you know, to walk through.
There's a place for that revelation, that healing to happen always. Yeah, because it is like Prince's generosity. That's what I mean by the erotic is a very generous energy.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like you said it perfectly. And he really gave me permission to wake up as a, you know, a little girl to my kind of freakiness.
Yeah.
He really gave me permission. And so that is what erotic means to me.
Oh, and thank you. That brings it full circle. I mean, really the generative and generous quality of the erotic.
Thank you, Prince, for bringing it out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, baby. Okay, we're going to have some dance party.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So good. So good. Well, there are 2 signature questions on the podcast.
Oh.
Yes. And before we wrap up, I would love to ask you them. And the first one is, of all the many things, what is the one thing that will consistently tune you in to what you consider spirit, God, you know, your source?
Life itself.
All of it?
All of it. Reverence for life will always remind me that I'm connected to something so magnificent.
Beautiful.
Beyond what I can touch and see. There's just this knowing. It connects everything together.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And of all the many things that can turn you on, what is one thing that will consistently be a turn on for you?
One. That is so hard. Well, your dog right now
I know.
is definitely turning me
I know.
on.
Lola just walked in the studio, and of course she's panting
Yeah.
because she was just slutting herself in the sun, right?
Yeah.
But now she's like, "Ooh, you're talking about turn-ons?
Wow.
Time for me to be in here."
A really slow, juicy dance in a dark room with, just the perfect song. That will always work. So far.
So far. There's room for evolution, always.
Always.
Yes.
Always. Yeah. Dedicating some time to my own inherent sensual, erotic wisdom and power connects me to how really I'm a cheap date. You know,
you just need to be in a room by yourself and dance.
I just need to be really with a nice dark. The dark is really a turn on. Maybe that's what it is, more than even the dance, because the dance always brings me into this deeper, darker, wider, resting. But just, I mean, looking at your ravens on the wall, you know. Yeah, the mystery. The mystery.
Dark, yeah.
I really get turned on by the mystery.
Beautiful.
The unknown.
Love that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So good. Rie, thank you first of all for being in my life. You know, you are a gem, and I appreciate you coming in and taking your time to speak some wisdom of erotic nature to us and
was fun.
With us. So good. It
Anytime,
was
darling.
Fun for me too. And I have a reverence for you and what you bring to the world, because what you do is so needed and so empowering. And you know, you walk the talk, and that's a true gift.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do, and always bringing me in and supporting me. And I'm so happy to have you as a sister.
Yeah. It's a love fest.
It really is.
Our pussies are clapping.
Yes, they are.
All right. We'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.